Today we are going to do lab number 9, Introduction to Raspberry Pi and Implementation of a Traffic Light System by using Raspberry Pi. So what is Raspberry Pi? The Raspberry Pi is a low-cost, credit card-sized computer that plugs into a computer monitor or TV and uses a standard keyboard and mouse. It is a capable little device that enables people of all ages to explore computing and to learn how to program in languages like Scratch and Python. It's capable of doing everything you'd expect a desktop computer can do, from browsing the internet and playing high definition video to making spreadsheets, word processing, and playing games. What's more, the Raspberry Pi has the ability to interact with the outside world and has been used in a variety or in a wide array of digital maker projects, from music machines and parent detectors to weather stations and tweeting birdhouses with infrared cameras. So basically, it is a very popular device and getting popularity worldwide, not only among the students, hobbyists, okay, but it is widely used in many bigger projects. Especially AIB has a project on, I think, Mover, okay, Lunar Mover or Mars Mover, okay, and they have used Raspberry Pi in their project. And what's more, with Raspberry Pi, you have the option to build a supercomputer. Some groups they combined several Raspberry Pi and they made a supercomputer. So it is a very promising and capable device. Lots of activity you can do with Raspberry Pi. So what things come first is the setting up your Raspberry Pi. So if you open up the PowerPoint slide and click this link, Raspberry Pi documentation getting started. It will open up the browser and it will guide you how to set up your Raspberry Pi for the first time use. Okay, so let's click the link. So it has opened up the browser. So this is the Raspberry Pi documentation getting started. So setting up your Raspberry Pi. Okay, to get started with your Raspberry Pi computer, you will need the following accessories. Let me just enlarge it, okay, a little bit for easy. Here is good. So to get started with the Raspberry Pi computer, you will need the following accessories: a computer monitor or television. Most should work as a display for the Raspberry Pi, but for best results, you should use a display with HDMI input. You will also need an appropriate display cable to connect your monitor to the Raspberry Pi. If your display uses an HDMI connection and has built-in speakers, you can use it to output the sound also. A computer keyboard and mouse. Any standard USB keyboard and mouse will work with Raspberry Pi. Wireless keyboards and mice will work if already paired. For keyboard layout configuration options, see the Raspberry Pi configuration. Okay, a good quality power supply. We recommend the official Raspberry Pi power supply, which has been specifically designed to consistently provide plus 5.1 volt despite rapid fluctuations in current load. Those fluctuations in demand is something that happens a lot with when you are using the peripherals with the Raspberry Pi, and something that other supplies designed to provide consistent current for charging cell phones usually don't cope with all that well. So if you use the cell phone charger, it's not a good charge, okay? You need a proper Raspberry Pi power supply. And there are some official Raspberry Pi power supply in the market that you can use. It also has an attached micro USB cable, which means that you don't accidentally use a poor quality cable. So when you buy a Raspberry Pi, make sure the cable that you are using should be a good quality. For the Raspberry Pi 4 Model B and Raspberry Pi 400, you should use the Type-C power supply. And for all other models, you should use the micro USB power supply. Finally, you will need an SD card. We recommend a minimum of 8 GB micro SD card and to use the Raspberry Pi Imager to install and the operating system onto it. Okay. So there was an optional item and a network cable or Ethernet cable to connect your Raspberry Pi with your local area network on the internet. But if you have the Wi-Fi, you can use the Wi-Fi to connect the Raspberry Pi to the net. Installing the operating system, Raspberry Pi recommend the use of Raspberry Pi Imager to install an operating system on the SD card. You will need another computer with an SD card reader to install the image. Okay. So when you choose the SD card, also choose a good quality SD card so that it gives the good speed. Okay. So this is the using the Raspberry Pi Imager. The Raspberry Pi Imager is a software that if you click the link, you can download the software from the Raspberry Pi website, and you can use this imager to install the operating system on the SD card. Okay, these are the steps. Connect the SD card reader with the SD card outside inside. Open Raspberry Pi Imager and choose the required operating system from the list presented. Choose the SD card you wish to write your image to. Finally, review your selection and click the right button to begin writing data to the SD card. So these are the steps and this is the picture advanced option that you can choose from the Raspberry Pi Imager when you write the image. Okay. When you have the Raspberry Pi Imager open, pushing Control Shift X will open an advanced menu. This menu lets you carry out tasks like enabling security, okay, SSAs, or setting your Raspberry Pi source name before first boot. So some advanced feature that you can set up when you set up the SD card. Okay. The advanced option menu is useful when you want to configure a headless Raspberry Pi. Okay. So downloading an image, you can download the image directly. See, that means if you don't want to use the imager, you can download the image directly from the download page. Look at over here. Let me right click. Let me click this one. Download page. From the download page, you can download the image directly. And this is the Raspberry Pi Imager. Okay. If you click over here, Raspberry Pi Imager for okay. This is the operating system is okay. That means if you want to emulate Raspberry Pi on your computer without Raspberry Pi, okay. Suppose you don't have the Raspberry Pi, but you are very interested to know the Raspberry Pi, how to work with it, okay. Then this is the best choice. This is the Raspberry Pi image operating system image that you can install on your desktop computer or laptop computer. Okay, you don't need the Raspberry Pi hardware to learn Raspberry Pi. Okay, and to work with the Raspberry Pi. Okay, to get expert on Raspberry Pi, you can just directly download this desktop version operating system. Okay, that means just download this version Raspberry Pi desktop. Okay, Raspberry operating system 32-bit. Okay, so if you just want to learn the Raspberry Pi without the hardware, this is the option for you. Just download the image and write the image on the SD card. Okay, you can use the Rufus REFS, Rufus Image Writer. Also a good choice. Okay, let me just click over here. Rufus. This is a very good software. A small software. Rufus. Okay, download. This is a very capable software. Very small in size and does a great job. That is any type of operating system, okay, or image if you want to write on the SD card and install on the SD card. This is the, I think, excellent choice, okay, to work with. Okay, download the reference, very small in size. Look at over here, only 1.3 megabyte. If you download the software, it's a very smart way. Okay, just have to select your SD card from here, select the operating system, and then you can direct write image, and very fast. Okay, this works very fast. So I think I have tried several times this software, and it's like a charm. Okay, so you can use the software to burn the image on the SD card, and if you boot from the USB drive, okay, if you boot your SD card from the USB drive of your desktop computer or laptop computer, you get a complete of Raspberry Pi operating system. Okay, and you can work with it, play with it. Also, you can use this Raspberry Pi system as a complete desktop operating system for your computer because it has all the office software, additional programming software. Okay, that everything that you work with the actual Raspberry Pi hardware, same thing you can do over here. So it can be your everyday operating system, day-to-day operating system, okay, that you use in your computer. It's a very good choice. Okay, you can try with it, and you'll be very expert on Raspberry Pi within a very short time without the hardware, with your own laptop or desktop computer. But if you have the Raspberry Pi hardware, then this is the choice for you. Okay, there are several options. Full Raspberry Pi is operating system with desktop and recommended software. This is the full version. Okay, you can download and install by the Raspberry Pi Imager or the Rufus software. Okay, I tried the Rufus software and it works like a charm. Okay, Rufus software takes less time, very fast compared to Raspberry Pi Imager. This is the Raspberry Pi operating system with desktop, Raspberry Pi operating system with the light version. Okay, and this is the third party software. Okay, you can use the encoding entertainment center distribution. That means if you want to use the Raspberry Pi as a complete entertainment system, only for watching movie, let's say browsing the net, okay, watching TV, okay, this is a good choice for you. That means a home entertainment system. So it contains the Kodi software. Okay, most of you are familiar with the Kodi, so this is the familiar Kodi software. Just install the system and it will boot up in Kodi. If you are familiar or if you are for the Ubuntu desktop, then this image you can download and install on the SD card. You can also install the Ubuntu server. This is Ubuntu Core. This is RetroPie. Okay, turn your Raspberry Pi into a retro gaming machine. And also there are third party, okay, like TLXOS, 30-day trial of thin Linux Debian based thin client for Raspberry Pi. Okay, and that's not for all. Okay, if you browse the net, there are many variation of operating system that run on Raspberry Pi you can find. Also, if you are interested in Windows 10, okay, you can install Windows 10 ARM version. That means on Raspberry Pi. That means a complete Windows system on Raspberry Pi. I have tried it. It is the same family of Windows 10 that you use. Okay, so you can also install the Windows 10 operating system directly on Raspberry Pi. Okay, ARM version. That means because this is not x86. Okay, ARM CPU, ARM based CPU. So Also, you can install Windows 10 operating system over here, and it works like a charm. Okay, same Windows 10 environment that you use, on your desktop or laptop. So that's the operating system installation. So once you install the operating system of your choice, then you're ready to go. That means I think they have shown you a detailed guideline, but I think the best thing I have found that the less hassle is the Rufus system. Okay, that means if you use this small software, it works like a charm. Okay, very quickly you can install any operating system on the SD card. Not only Raspberry Pi, any operating system. Okay, you can use to install. You can use Rufus. So after installing the operating system, connect the display. Unless you are setting up your Raspberry Pi to operate headless for regular use, you will want to plug the Raspberry Pi into a display, either a computer monitor or a television. So you can use the HDMI cable to connect your Raspberry Pi to a TV. Okay, so this is HDMI cable. Connection using DVI also you can do. Connecting using VGA. To connecting using VGA, you need to use a HDMI to VGA converter. Okay, if your monitor or if your monitor does not have a HDMI, then you need to use a HDMI to VGA converter to connect your Raspberry Pi to the monitor. And also using the composite port, you can use the composite port if you have let's say RCA connector. Most models of Raspberry Pi have a composite out port for connecting to analog devices, but the type of connector varies depending on the model. The original Raspberry Pi uses an RCA connector, and a standard RCA composite video lead will work. Other models like Raspberry Pi B Plus and later combine the audio out and composite out onto the same 3.5 millimeter jack plug. Okay, that means you can also from the same jack plug you can take the audio and video both. This requires a particular type of lead with audio left on the top on the tip. Okay, with audio left on the tip and audio right on ring 1, ground on ring 2, and video on the slave. Okay, this is the same as leads used on Juno and on Apple device. Okay. So more information on connecting to a monitor can be found in the learning resource section. So that's the installation of Raspberry Pi operating system and connecting the Raspberry Pi to the display. So once you have it, you are ready to power on your device. Okay. So let's go back to our PowerPoint slide. So let's move to the next slide. Okay. So today we are going to implement a system with Raspberry Pi. Traffic light system using Raspberry Pi. As you see, there are three: red, yellow, and green light. Okay, this is traffic light. We have seen the implementation of traffic light using Arduino Uno. Now we are going to implement the same system using Raspberry Pi. So, what's the benefit of Raspberry Pi? Why it is popular? Not only it is a complete computer, you can use it as a complete desktop computer. The best part, it has GPIO pin. One powerful feature of the Raspberry Pi is the row of GPIO pins along the top edge of the board. GPIO stands for General Purpose Input Output. These pins are a physical interface between the Raspberry Pi and the outside world. Look at over here. It has 40 GPIO pins. What can you do with the pins? You can do lots of things. You can connect sensors, you can connect motors, okay, you can connect any uh, let's say audio devices and analog devices, okay, or digital devices to the system. And you can have your complete project built with the Raspberry Pi. What is the benefit of Raspberry Pi over Arduino Uno? We have done the same many projects with the Arduino Uno, but what is the advantage using Raspberry Pi over Arduino Uno? The main advantage, you can design more sophisticated and powerful systems with Raspberry Pi. Arduino Uno does not have an operating system, but Raspberry Pi has a very powerful, I think the most powerful operating system on the world is the Debian. And Raspberry Pi uses a Debian variation of or variant of the operating system over here. It is Debian based. The operating system that Raspberry Pi use is Debian operating system. So it is the most powerful operating system in the world. On the high-end machine, okay, supercomputer, they use Debian operating system. So you use the same operating system in the Raspberry Pi. So what's the advantage? You can take advantage of that powerful operating system when you design a project. Okay, all the features, advantage that operating system can have, you can use over here. So any sophisticated or high-end project you are interested to implement, Raspberry Pi becomes an ideal choice because it is a low-cost device plus use enormous power, okay, to work with. So you can take advantage of that extra power to implement your system with Raspberry Pi. And this GPIO pin gives you that advantage. So these are the, I think, color-coded GPIO pins you've got over here. You will see pins labeled as 3.3 V3, that means they're 3.3 volt pin, 5 volt ground, GP2, GP3, etc. If you see 3.3, this is 3.3 volt. Anything connected to this pins will always get 3.3 volt power. 5 volt. Anything connected to this pins will always get 5 volt power. See, if you see red color, it's a 5 volt. You see this color is a 3.3 volt. Black color is the ground and yellow color they are the GPIO. So this red color 5 volt, this is 3.3 volt. Okay, this is 3.3 volt. Black color is the ground and yellow color they are the GPIO pin. That is, you can connect a sensor, you can connect any motor, not directly connecting any motor. You can use the motor driver to connect the motor. Okay, so any I think different types of analog and digital device or sensors you can connect to this GPIO pin. Ground pin, okay, 0 volt. That means black is the ground. Is to complete a circuit. GP2, GPIO pin 2. These pins are for general purpose use and can be configured as input or output pins, like this green pin, yellow color pin. Okay, they can be configured to use as input pin or output pin. And IDSC, IDSD, IDNC, there is some special purpose pin you have. Okay. So if you want to know the complete Raspberry Pi GPIO pinout with greater explanation and details, this is the link for you. Just click the link and it will open up a web page that has a complete guideline of the Raspberry Pi GPIO. This picture that is on the left side is interactive. You see, if you just hover your mouse on some pin, it will show you the explanation. Okay, to show you the explanation tooltip. Okay, wiring pin 5 pin 8. Okay, and if you click over there, it will give you a complete explanation of the pin. Okay, GPIO2, that means this pin, if you can connect the I2C device. Do you know what is I2C? Communication over a single line, and many sensors devices nowadays are I2C compatible. That means on this pin, not only can connect a single device, you can connect more than 100 devices on a single pin. Let's say you want to use, let's say, 100 sensors for your project, big project. Okay, only a single pin is required to connect 100 sensors. Okay, ITC. So many sensors nowadays are I2C compatible, and you can expand your system with the I2C pin. That means multiple device, multiple sensor, more than 100 sensors you can connect on the single pin, I2C pin. Okay. So these two pins, SDA data pin, this is the pull-out pin. So these two pins are used to connect I2C devices. So just click on any single pin. It will show you the description on the right side. So it is an interactive picture. If you want to know the GPIO pinout in details, then the website is the ideal choice for you. Okay. So just click any pin. It will explain the pin functionality in great details on the right side. Not only that, you see, if you look at over here, browse the pinout for hats, p-hats and add-ons. If you want to connect a Raspberry Pi hat or Pi hats or some peripherals, then you can click this link. Just click the link. Look at over here. Lots of peripherals that are available on the market, and how to connect those peripherals you can find the guideline over here. Let me choose one device. Let's say you want to build, let's say, a radio communication device, long distance. It's a LoRa, long distance communication device that you can implement with LoRa. Okay, it's a small device. Look at over here. This is a LoRa guitar hat. Okay, IoT LoRa node hat. That means if you want to set up a communication device, then you can use this type of hat with Raspberry Pi, and you can set up a, let's say, wireless communication system with Raspberry Pi with LoRa. Okay, you can communicate over a long distance without any cable connection wirelessly. Okay, if you want to connect the motor, this is the motor connection board, motor head. So if you want to design a robot or vehicle, you can use this type of motor head device with Raspberry Pi. And if you click this one, let's click on any item, it will show you how to connect it. Automation hat. This is the automation hat. Okay. Automation hat is a home monitoring and automation controller for the Raspberry Pi with relays, analog channels, powered outputs, and buffered inputs, all 24-volt tolerant. To get the hat set up and ready to go, you can use the one-line product installer. Okay, just use the one-line command to Raspberry Pi. I think system. Okay, this is called, I think, command. Okay, just run the command on Raspberry Pi. It will install the device automatically for you. Okay, so it is hassle-free installation. Okay, so this I think website gives you a good resource for Raspberry Pi add-on board. Okay, let's explore this one. Vision Bonnet. The AIY Vision Bonnet comes with the AIY Vision Kit by Google, a do-it-yourself intelligent camera. The Vision Bonnet connects to your Raspberry Pi to create an intelligent camera that sees and recognizes objects using on-device machine learning model. So many advanced things you can directly implement over here. The bonnet includes hardware to accelerate vision-based ML models, machine learning models, a connector for Raspberry Pi camera version 2, a 10-pin button connector, and 4 unique GPIO pins called pin A, pin B, pins, and pin D. Okay, so it's a great website that you can use to implement your system with Raspberry Pi and get information about different type of device that you can work with the Raspberry Pi. So let's go back to our PowerPoint slide. Let's go to the next slide. So now come to our project today, lighting a LED. Before we can implement the project, let's see how to light a LED with Raspberry Pi. LEDs are delicate little things. If you put too much current through them, they will pop. To limit the current, going through the LED, you should always use a resistor in series with it. So look at over here, long leg and LED to Raspberry Pi 3.3 board. See, if you see the LED, it has one leg is short, one leg is long. Long leg is the anode and short leg is the cathode. You need to connect the cathode to the ground and anode to a GPIO pin. Okay, or 3.3 volt pin. Okay, so long leg and LED to Pi 3.3 volt, and the short leg to a ground pin. Automatically, LED will turn on. If you connect a special purpose GPIO pin or connect to a long leg, make sure to write the import code. So if you want to connect the LED to a GPIO pin, then you need to write the code for it. Switching and LED on and off from your program. GPIO 0 is a new Python library which provides a simple interface to everyday GPIO component. It comes installed by default in Raspbian. So when you install the Raspberry Pi operating system on the SD card, this library comes built in. And what is the best advantage? You don't need to write the complex code, okay? Just call the function. And I have found one interesting feature. Let's say if you want to implement the traffic light with this GPI pin, okay? I think it has a built-in functionality. Just call the traffic light and give the pin number and give the delay. It will implement the traffic light. But we'll go with the basic way today to learn the steps, okay? How to do the programming step by step. So we'll go with the basic way. So to switching and LED on and off, first you need to write the code. To write the code, you need to open the ideally integrated development environment, which you can use to write and run the code. Look at over here. If you click the option programming from the Raspberry Pi menu, this is the menu option. This Raspberry Pi picture you see, this is the start of your Windows. Okay, in Windows operating system you have the start menu. In the Raspberry Pi system you have this Raspberry Pi icon. This is the start menu. Just click this Raspberry Pi icon, it will open up these menus. So you click programming, there are different options for programming. We'll choose Python 3 ideally, okay, for this case. So open ideally integrated development environment which you can use to write and run code. So it's Raspberry menu icon, programming, and Python ideal. So this is the way. Just you open your programming environment to write the code. So click file to create a new file in the ideally. You can click on the file and new file in the ideally menu bar. So from the file menu, you click the new. Okay, and it will open up a window where you can write the program. So create a new file by clicking file, new file. Then look at over here. Save the new file by clicking file save and save the file as traffic.py. You will need the LED class and to tell it that the LED is on pin number 17. So if you connect your LED to a particular Raspberry Pi GPIO pin, you need to supply this number. What pin you have connected to the Raspberry Pi, to the program, okay? So write the following code in your new file. From GPIO 0 import LED. So it will import the LED functionality from the GPIO 0 library and you type the code LED equal to LED within bracket, you give the GPIO pin number 70. You are done. Okay. Now Raspberry Pi know at what GPIO pin your LED is connected. To make the LED switch on, type the following and press enter. LED.on. Okay. So now your Raspberry knows that at what pin it is connected from your previous line of code. Now if you just the command on, LED.on, the light will go on. To turn it off, LED.off. Your LED should switch on and then off again. Making traffic light. We need a breadboard, 3 LEDs, and the necessary jumper cables and resistors. So these are the components of making the traffic light. Look at over here. Wiring. First, you need to understand how each component is connected. A LED requires one ground pin and one GPIO pin with a current limiting resistor that we have seen in our previous slide. Place the components on the breadboard and connect them to the Raspberry Pi GPIO pin, like in the picture. Once you do it, this is the code that you'll write. Let me explain the code to you. First line, import Raspberry Pi RPI.GPIO as GPIO. Okay, so you import this library as GPIO. Okay, then you import the time. Then GPIO.setMode. You see, if you look at the net, look at over here. Raspberry Pi GPIO pinout. Graphical pinout. Okay, GPIO. General purpose input output, like a BCM or Broadcom. Okay, what do these numbers mean? These are the big numbers. For example, GPIO 22. Okay, you will see this with RPI Raspberry Pi.GPIO and GPIO 0. So these are the libraries that two libraries you can use. Okay, for the pin description or to use the pin. Physical or board. If you want to refer the pin with the physical board pin number, look at it. This is the physical board pin number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 up to pin number 40. So this 1 to 40, these are the physical board pin number. So if you want to refer to the pin to the physical board pin number, then you need to use this convention. Okay, board. Okay, so in our program, look at over here. We have used the what called GPIO.board. That means we want to refer those GPIO pins with the physical pin number. Okay. Otherwise, what is the other option? You can refer to the pin through this number GPIO 10, GPIO 20. Look whatever they don't match. This GPIO 22, board pin number 15. They are not same. Okay. GPIO 17. Okay. This Raspberry Pi pin number GPIO 17, and physical pin number is 11. Okay, so if you want to refer the pin to the physical pin number, then you need to tell it in your program that we want to refer the pin to the physical pin number. In that case, you need to use the term board, GPIO.setMode, GPIO.board. Otherwise, if you give the command BCM, okay, you got over here. Physical, okay, wiring pi. Or BCM, okay. Okay, if you want to use a physical pin, this physical pin number 15, then you need to tell the board. Otherwise, you tell BCM, okay, at pin number 22. In that case, if you don't use the term board, then you need to use BCM, okay. Then this is the way to refer GPIO 22, 27. And if you use the term board, then physical numbering. So over here, we are using the physical numbering, so we use the term board. So once you do it, then GPIO.setMode pin number 3, 5, 7. Let's say pin number 3 is the red color, 5 you have connected the yellow light, and 7 is the green light. Okay, so we define that this 3, 5, 7 they are the output pin. That means you want to turn, you can turn on and off the pin by supplying a voltage on the pin. Okay. Now we implement a forever loop. While true, GPIO.output, we make the red color pin high, then we keep the red color pin high for 5 seconds. Time dot simply 5 seconds. So we turn on the red color pin high for 5 seconds. If you want to change the timing, you can change over here. Then we turn it off. After turning off the red color pin, we turn on the yellow color pin. GPIO.output 5. So we turn on this yellow color pin for 2 seconds. Okay. After that, we turn it off. GPIO.output 5, GPIO.low. That means after turning off the yellow color pin, we turn on the green color pin. That is connected to pin number 7 by sending a high value. Then we wait for 6 seconds. Then we turn off the pin. Okay. Now we want to implement the system. Okay, but this is online class and we don't have the physical hardware right now with you, right? So what we are going to do, we are going to simulate the system online. There is an online Raspberry Pi simulator. That means you can simulate your system online. Okay, same thing that you can do physically, you will simulate online. Okay, so we'll implement this TFLite system online. So let's click the online simulator over here. Click over here and it will open up the online simulator. So this is the web page for online simulator. And lots of other things you can do from here. Okay, if you look at the left side, if you want to explore, lots of extra feature you can explore from this website. So this is our interest of today, Raspberry Pi online simulator. Let's learn it. Raspberry Pi simulator. Raspberry Pi programming is made commonly in Python. This demonstrator will take you through different Python examples using the Raspberry Pi simulator. You'll be able to code your own Python program using the GPIO connectors. So this is the way to do it. In the next slide, you will find our Raspberry Pi Python simulator. Write your code in the text box and click the play button. For example, this is the code, and if you click the play button, then you can simulate your code in Raspberry Pi. Look at over here. If your this is the GPIO pinout, 40 pin number physical. This is physical pin numbering we have used over here. 1, 2, 3, 4 up to pin number 40. Okay. And it also has the description of different pin over here. So if your code uses the GPIO connectors, you can see the results by clicking the output button. This is the output button. By clicking this output button, you can see the result. You can activate input pins and read from output pins. Okay. So let's see how it works. Okay. Now click any arrow. Different arrow has different example. Okay. To implement that, just click any arrow to open up a particular example to work with. Okay. Look at over here. So this is a small program has been written to look at over here. We have set the board mode. We have defined that pin number 3 is the output pin, pin number 5 is the input pin. So what you can do, this is the flash pin number 3 5 times. So this is the code that it will make the flash pin number 3 5 times, and it will wait for you to click the pin number 5. That means pin number 5 you have connected a button. Okay, if you click pin number 5, it will display a message. Pin 5 is on, otherwise pin 5 is off. Okay. So you will test your system. That means there's a LED that is connected to pin number 3. It will blink for 5 times. Okay, and there's a button. If you press the button on pin number 5, it will display the message. So let's simulate it. Click the play button. Pin number 3 is blinking 5 times. And yes, click the pin number 5. I think a simulation has been stopped. So let me just run it again. Click pin number 5. Pin 5 is on. You see? Pin 5 is on. After blinking, it displays the message. If you look at the code, after blinking, the message will get displayed. Let me run again. Pin number 3 is blinking 5 times. And if you click this pin number 5, a message will be displayed after the blinking is done. Pin 5 is on. So let's close it. Now over here you can write your own code. Okay, look at over here. The code we have given on the PowerPoint slide. Write the code over there. So what I suggest, all of you do the job, because these are the things that you need to do. Okay, that's your lab for today. You write the code over there, change the timing, and implement the system. Okay, write the code over here. You can just type your own code. Okay, add the code over here. The things that is on your demo PowerPoint slide. Write the code over there. After writing the code, you click the play button to see the traffic light in operation. And what more you can do, change the timing. Change the timing. Okay, and what I like you to do, implement this, I think modify the code so that your traffic light will blink. That is, yellow color light will blink 5 times. Okay, yellow color light will blink. Look at over here, this light is blinking. Okay, modify the code so this yellow color light will blink 5 times. First turn on the red color light, then turn it off, then turn on the yellow color light. Keep it steady for, let's say, 3 seconds. After 3 seconds, blink it 5 times. So this is the code, you see? This is the code to blink. See, if you look at the code, this is the code to blink 5 times. So keep the yellow color light steady for 3 seconds. Okay, then blink it 5 times. Then turn it off and turn on the green color light. Let me write it down for you. Let me write down this for you. So you modify the code, you see. First implement the basic code like this. Say this is the basic code for the traffic light system. Once it's working properly, then this is the modification you implement. Turn on red light for 8 seconds, then turn on yellow light for 3 seconds and blink for 5 seconds. And then turn on the green light for 8 seconds. Okay. Let's do one system for you. Okay. Let's implement this code for you over there. Then you modify the code like this. Let me show you this one for the first time. So first line is the import. Okay. You put over here. Import rashidbhai.gpio as GPIO. So import the library, import the time. Then you set mode, okay, gpio.board. Then gpio.setup pin number 3 is the GPIO output pin. Then pin number 5 also you need to set up as output pin. Then pin number 7, okay. Pin number 3 for the red color, pin number 5 for the yellow color, and pin number 7 for the green color, okay, right? So once you do it, you implement the forever loop. While true, so you turn on the red color light, then you go for sleep for 5 seconds, okay. So 5 seconds sleeping in this case. So give 5, then you turn it off. So you turn off the red color light. Then you turn on the yellow color light. Pin number 5, and you need to turn it on, okay. So gpio.high, then you wait for 2 seconds. So sleep time, 2 seconds sleep in this case. So after sleeping for 2 seconds, turn it off. Pin number 5, okay, you need to change the pin number. So now you turn off the Okay. After turning off the yellow color light, you turn on the green color. In number 7, right? Green color is number 7. To give high value, try to turn it on. Then go for sleep. How long you have to make sleep? That means how long you have to turn on the 6 second. Okay, green color for 6 second in our problem over here. Keep it on, then turn it off. Change the pin number 7. So we have written a loop. Delete the code for blink. Okay, this is the code for blink. We don't need it over here. So delete the code for blink and delete any other code. Okay, you don't need the button. So delete the button code. So that's our program now. Okay, as in the slide. So we have first defined that set mode is the board pin numbering, physical pin numbering. Then we have defined the pin number for red color, yellow color, green color light. Then in the forever loop, we have written the code. First, we turn on the red color for 5 seconds, then off. Then turn on the yellow color for 2 seconds, then make it off. Then we turn on the green color for 6 seconds, then we turn it off. And this will continue forever while true. It's forever loop. So let's play with it. Let's simulate. Click the run button over here. I think let's go to full screen mode. Okay. You see? Forward loop. Red color for 5 seconds, then yellow color for 2 seconds, then green color for 6 seconds. Okay. Red, yellow, green. Red, yellow, green. So we have just implemented our first traffic light system using the Raspberry Pi simulator. Same thing physically you can do. If you connect the hardware, it will work the same way in the physical device. So what is the things you need to do now? Okay, go to the slide. Modify your code and implement this modified version of the traffic light. So now is the time for a small break. After taking a small break, come back, implement the code, and submit the screenshot on your post section. Once you do it, you are done for today. Any question at this time? Anyone has any question? Have you understood everything?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now that's the job for you. Take a break. You can take the break as long as you need. No restriction. But make sure once you finish your break, come back and implement this modified version of the traffic light system using the Raspberry Pi simulator. And once you are done, give a screenshot of your simulation on the post session, and then you are done. You can leave the lab, okay, after that. So good luck to all of you.
স্যার আজকের ল্যাবটা কি